So what we're doing here today is we're trying to introduce MakerSpaces and MakerSpace thinking into education and trying to see where it can play a part in the sort of practical day-to-days of schooling.
Well, what's happened today is we've got a number of exciting speakers from various platforms, and we started out by talking about the philosophy behind educational change, the reason it had to happen. We slowly moved through a couple of talks which actually gave us exciting ways of how to actually get this to work.
In my day-to-day life, I run an accelerator program at the Graduate School of Business, but I'm here in the capacity of hackathons. So I did a talk today teaching people how to use hackathons and how they could incorporate it into their curriculum and making it not so scary.
We had great makers actually come through and demonstrate what they were doing in their various practices, some professionals from industry, lecturers from WITS and from other universities. I was speaking as well a little bit how to get things into other subjects, and then we moved off into some really awesome workshops.
So we did a Makey workshop, getting the teachers introduced to Makey and open source hardware, and it was quite interesting to see how receptive the teachers actually were there.
And they were quite interested in the entire ecosystem of technologies that we showed them. Not just here's a tool and for them to use in the classroom, but how can they further use this in every other aspect of their teaching.
I was one of the speakers here, was talking about how possible it is to transform education through MakerSpaces. And then we also hosted a successful workshop where people were making designs to be able to transfer knowledge to the future generation. It's highly important to be able to push STEM development in many ways possible. We are in fact considering the option of creating a MakerSpace in a school in Mamelodi.
The maker movement's getting out to a lot of schools, and people are actually getting a lot of the technologies that might seem quite complicated. I think the demystification of a lot of these has been a big help.
As with our design practice, we found that it was way more beneficial to engage in actually making rather than just thinking about how things would be. I think it's like a similar thing of like theory versus practice within schools. Just the teachers were like kids.
I think the importance to me is like teachers are actually learning a whole new subject. So you're almost trying to cram what is geography into one day. It's just never going to happen. So I think this is going to be a graduated process that over the next couple of years, schools have to realize this is not a one-off, and you can't just set up a makerspace and think you have a makerspace.
I think that most of the teachers were overwhelmed by the creativity and what can be done. But the exciting thing is that teachers are now liaising with people who are outside the education sector, so that we are opening up minds, we are expanding creativity, and really hoping to create a future of critical thinkers.